The Emperor's throne room was cold and silent. Princess Zarathin knelt before her father, keeping her eyes on the polished floor. She had learned long ago that looking directly at Emperor Kalthos was considered a challenge, and challenges were punished. "You will go to Earth," the Emperor said. His voice echoed through the massive chamber. "The humans have requested an ambassador. I am sending you." Zara felt her heart sink. She was the seventh daughter, the least important of all his children. Her brothers and sisters held military commands and governed entire star systems. She was given nothing because she was considered worth nothing. "Father, I am honored," she said carefully. The Emperor laughed. It was not a kind sound. "Do not pretend, daughter. We both know this is not an honor. The humans are primitive creatures who have barely learned to travel between stars. They are insects asking for our attention. So I am sending them my least valuable child. Let them see how little I think of their request." Zara kept her face empty of emotion. She had years of practice. "You will live among the animals," the Emperor continued. "Perhaps you will finally be useful as a reminder of Valorian superiority. Or perhaps you will simply disappear, and I will not have to see your face again." "Yes, father," Zara whispered. 3 weeks later, a transport ship approached Earth Orbital Station 7. Zara stood at the window, watching the blue and green planet grow larger. She had studied humans during her journey. They were small, weak, and lived very short lives. Their technology was centuries behind the Valorian Empire. She could not understand why they thought themselves worthy of an alliance, but she also could not understand why she felt afraid. These creatures could not hurt her. They were beneath her in every way. Yet her hands were shaking. The docking procedure was smooth. Zara gathered her few belongings and walked toward the airlock. She prepared herself for mockery, for cold stares, for the same treatment she had received her entire life. She was unwanted garbage, sent to live with lesser beings. Everyone would know it. Everyone would remind her of it. The airlock opened. A human male stood waiting. He was tall for his species, with gray hair at his temples and kind lines around his eyes. He wore a military uniform and stood with perfect posture. Beside him was a human female with brown skin and a warm smile. Several other humans waited behind them. "Princess Zarathin," the male said. He pressed his hand to his chest and bowed his head. "I am Commander Daniel Porter. On behalf of Earth and this station, welcome. We are honored by your presence." Zara blinked. She searched his face for signs of sarcasm or hidden cruelty. She found none. "I am Dr. Amy Lawson," the female said. "I will be your cultural liaison. If you need anything at all, please ask me. We want you to feel at home here. Feel at home." Zara had never felt at home anywhere. "Thank you," she managed to say. "I hope I will not be a burden." Commander Porter's expression shifted slightly. Something like sadness crossed his features. "Princess, you are not a burden. You are a guest and a diplomat. Please, let me show you to your quarters. I think you will find them comfortable." He was right. The quarters were beautiful. The humans had researched Valorian preferences and decorated. The rooms with soft purple lighting and flowing fabrics. Fresh flowers sat in crystal vases. The bed was large and soft, covered with blankets and colors that reminded Zara of home. "We tried to make it feel familiar," Dr. Lawson explained. "But please tell us if anything is wrong. We want you to be happy here." Happy, another word Zara did not understand. "This is more than adequate," she said. "Thank you for your efforts." Commander Porter nodded. "Dinner is in 2 hours. You are welcome to join us in the common hall, or we can bring food to your room if you prefer privacy. There is no pressure." After they left, Zara sat on the edge of her bed. Her mind was spinning. Where was the cruelty? Where were the insults? These humans behaved as if she mattered, as if her comfort was important. as if she was a real ambassador rather than a joke. It had to be a trick. They wanted something from her. Everyone always wanted something. She spent her first 3 days watching carefully. She attended meals in the common hall and observed how the humans treated each other. They laughed together. They asked about each other's families. They shared food and stories. When someone was sad, others offered comfort. Dr. Lawson visited every day. She asked Zara questions about Valorian culture with genuine curiosity. She wrote down Zara's answers in a notebook and said she was learning so much. No one had ever wanted to learn from Zara before. On the 4th night, Zara could not sleep. She walked through the quiet corridors of the station, her soft footsteps the only sound. She paused near an open door when she heard voices. "Did you see how the ambassador from Proxima talked to her?" It was Lieutenant Kevin Grant, the head of security. Zara recognized his voice, called her the Emperor's trash. Right to her face. "What did you do?" another voice asked. "I told him that Princess Zara is a respected member of this station, and that if he cannot speak to her with basic dignity, he is welcome to leave." Grant's voice was hard. He left. "Good," the other voice said. "I do not care who her father is or why he sent her. She is here now, and she deserves to be treated like a person." Zara pressed her back against the wall. Her hearts were beating fast. These humans had defended her. They had stood up for her when they had nothing to gain from it. She thought about her father's court, where everyone smiled while plotting to destroy each other. She thought about her brothers and sisters who had never once protected her from harm. These humans were weak. Their lives were short. Their empire was small, but they had done something no Valorian had ever done for her. They had shown her kindness. Zara returned to her quarters and sat by the window, watching the stars. She did not understand these creatures. She did not understand why they cared. But for the first time in her long life, she felt something strange and unfamiliar growing in her chest. It felt like hope. 3 months passed on Earth Orbital Station 7. Zara found herself changing in ways she did not expect. It started small. She began eating breakfast with the crew instead of alone in her quarters. She learned to say good morning and ask how people slept. She discovered that humans enjoyed talking about their families, their hobbies, and their dreams. Dr. Amy Lawson became something Zara had never had before. A friend. So Valorians do not have friendships? Amy asked one afternoon. They sat in the station's garden, surrounded by green plants and the soft sound of water. "Not at all. We have alliances," Zara explained. "We have useful connections. But friendships based on simply enjoying someone's company?" She shook her head. "That is considered a weakness. If you care about someone, you can be hurt through them." Amy was quiet for a moment. "That sounds very lonely." "I did not know it was lonely," Zara admitted. "I thought it was normal. I thought everyone lived that way." Amy reached out and gently touched Zara's arm. The gesture was simple, but it made Zara's eyes burn. Physical comfort was not given among Valorians. Touch was only for violence or formal ceremonies. "Well," Amy said softly, "you have a friend now. If you want one." Zara did not trust her voice to speak. She simply nodded. Commander Porter invited her to attend station meetings. At first, Zara sat quietly and observed. But soon she began to notice things. She understood politics. She had grown up watching her father's court, where every word had hidden meaning and every smile hid a knife. "The trade delegation from Vega is lying," she said during one meeting. Everyone turned to look at her. Their lead negotiator keeps touching his left ear. In his culture, that signals deception. Also, their numbers do not match their shipping records. They are hiding something. Commander Porter studied her for a long moment. Then he smiled. "Thank you, Princess. That is very helpful." Her insights proved correct. The Vega delegation was caught trying to smuggle weapons through Earth's territory. After that, Commander Porter asked for Zara's opinion regularly. Her knowledge of alien cultures and political tricks became valuable to the entire station. For the first time in her life, Zara felt useful. Not as a symbol of her father's contempt, but as a real contributor. Then everything changed. The Valorian warship arrived without warning. It was massive, 10 times the size of the station, bristling with weapons. Commander Porter called an emergency meeting. "Lord Draven commands the vessel," Zara said. Her voice was calm, but her heart pounded. "He is one of my father's most loyal generals. He is here for me." She was right. Lord Draven's transmission was brief and cold. "The princess will return to Valoria immediately. Her presence is required for her marriage ceremony. The Emperor has arranged a union with Warlord Dexina of the Outer Territories." Zara felt the blood drain from her face. Warlord Dexina was ancient and cruel. He had killed 3 wives already. Her father was finally making her useful as a sacrifice to secure a military alliance. "I understand," Commander Porter said to the transmission. Then he ended the communication and turned to Zara. "Do you want to go?" She stared at him. "What? Do you want to go?" He repeated. "Do you want to marry this warlord?" "It does not matter what I want," Zara said automatically. "My father has commanded. Your father is not here." Commander Porter's voice was gentle but firm. "You are on my station, under my protection. I am asking you what you want." No one had ever asked her that question. "I do not want to go," she whispered. "He will kill me. Not quickly. He will hurt me first." Commander Porter nodded. "Then you are not going?" Lieutenant Grant stepped forward. "Sir, Lord Draven will not accept a refusal. He might attack the station. Let him try." Porter's jaw was set. "We do not hand over people to be murdered. That is not who we are." Lord Draven's response was fury. His face appeared on the screen, twisted with rage. "You dare to defy the Emperor? You are insects. I could destroy your little station with a single shot." "You could try," Porter replied calmly. "But then you would have to explain to the Emperor why a minor diplomatic incident became a declaration of war. Earth has allies now. Are you prepared for those consequences?" It was a bluff. Zara knew it was a bluff. Earth's allies were few and weak. But she also saw something in Porter's eyes, a certainty that he would rather fight than surrender her. Lord Draven's face twisted further. But after a long, tense moment, he spoke again. "This is not over. The Emperor will hear of this insult. You have made an enemy today." The transmission ended. The warship turned and jumped away. Zara's legs gave out. She would have fallen, but Dr. Amy Lawson caught her and held her up. "Why?" Zara gasped. "Why would you risk everything for me?" Commander Porter knelt beside her. His eyes were warm. "Because you are a person, not property. Because no one deserves to be sold into death. Because protecting those who cannot protect themselves is what humans do." Zara began to cry. She had not cried since she was a small child, when she learned that tears were a weakness that would be punished. But here, surrounded by these strange, kind creatures, she could not stop herself. Amy held her and let her weep. That night, Zara sent a private message to Commander Porter. She had made her decision. "I want to help your people," she wrote. "Tell me how." Porter's response came quickly. "Rest tonight. Tomorrow, we will talk about the future. Your future. One that you get to choose." Zara read the message 3 times. Then she looked out her window at the stars. Her father had sent her here as an insult. He had thrown her away like garbage. But these humans, these short-lived, fragile creatures, had given her something she had never known. They had given her a choice, and she was going to use it. 6 months after her arrival, Zara became Earth's most valuable intelligence source. It started with small things. She explained Valorian military formations to Earth's Defense Council. She translated hidden meanings in diplomatic messages that humans would never have caught. She identified which alien ambassadors could be trusted and which were secretly working for her father. Her knowledge saved lives. It prevented wars. It helped humanity navigate the dangerous waters of galactic politics. The Valorian ambassador is trying to trap you, Zara told Commander Porter before a major negotiation. He will offer a trade agreement that seems generous. But look at Section 7, Paragraph 3. There is a clause that would give the Empire access to Earth's communication networks. Porter found the clause. It was hidden in complicated legal language that no human would have understood. Because of Zara's warning, they rejected the agreement and exposed the attempted manipulation. Word spread through Earth's government. The Emperor's discarded daughter was becoming a powerful ally. Zara also began training human diplomats. She taught them how to read Valorian body language. She explained which gestures were respectful and which were deadly insults. She practiced negotiations with them until they could hold their own against any imperial representative. You bow from the shoulders for equals, she demonstrated to a group of nervous diplomats. From the waist for superiors. From the knees for the Emperor himself. But if a Valorian bows from the neck only, they are mocking you. They are saying you are not worth proper respect. The diplomats took careful notes. They practiced until the movements became natural. And when they met with Valorian officials, they performed flawlessly. The Empire noticed. Your worthless daughter has become a problem, Lord Draven reported to Emperor Kelthos. The humans are no longer easy to manipulate. They anticipate our strategies. They counter our diplomatic traps. Someone is teaching them. The Emperor's rage was terrible. His 7th daughter, the child he had thrown away, was now working against him. She was making him look foolish. She was helping insects resist his will. He decided she would die. The assassins came disguised as a diplomatic delegation. There were 6 of them, all trained killers, all veterans of the Emperor's secret death squads. They arrived on a transport ship with legitimate credentials and polite smiles. But Zara knew her father. She knew how he operated. Those are not diplomats, she told Lieutenant Grant. Watch the one on the left. See how he moves? That is military training. And the woman in the back keeps scanning the room for exit points. They are here to kill someone. How can you be sure? Grant asked. Because I know my father, Zara said quietly. And I know what I am worth to him now. He will not let me continue to help you. He would rather see me dead. Grant's face hardened. Then we stopped them. The confrontation happened in the station's main corridor. Grant and his security team surrounded the diplomats and demanded to search them. The assassins realized they had been discovered. They drew hidden weapons and attacked. Zara had been trained in combat since childhood. Her father had made all his children learn to fight, even the ones he considered worthless. She had never been respected for her skills. She had never been given a chance to use them properly. Now, she fought alongside the humans who had become her family. She moved like water, fast and fluid, disarming one assassin and breaking another's arm before he could fire. Lieutenant Grant fought beside her, their movements coordinating without words. The battle was brief and brutal. When it ended, all 6 assassins were captured or dead. None of the station crew had been killed. Grant looked at Zara with new respect. You saved my life. That one would have shot me in the back if you had not stopped him. You would have done the same for me, Zara said simply. He nodded. Yes, I would have. Emperor Kelthos received the news of his failed assassination with cold fury. He made his decision immediately. If he could not kill his daughter quietly, he would destroy her reputation publicly. His announcement was broadcast across the galaxy. The one called Zarathin is no longer my daughter. She is a traitor to the Valorian Empire. She is an enemy of our people. Any who aid her are enemies as well. She is stripped of all titles, all rights, and all protection. She is nothing. Zara watched the broadcast in the station's common room. The crew gathered around her, their faces worried. Amy took her hand. Commander Porter stood at her side. "What will you do?" Porter asked quietly. Zara thought about her life. She thought about the cold throne room where she had knelt in fear. She thought about her brothers and sisters who had never loved her. She thought about the father who had called her worthless and thrown her away. Then she thought about the humans who had defended her, who had protected her, who had treated her like a person instead of a problem. She requested a broadcast channel. The station's communication officer connected her to every news network in known space. "My name is Zarathin," she said, her voice steady and clear. "The Emperor has called me a traitor. He is right. I am a traitor to cruelty. I am a traitor to a system that treats people as property. I am a traitor to a father who never loved me." She paused, looking into the camera. "The Emperor has disowned me. He says I am no longer Valorian. Very well. I accept his judgment." Her chin lifted. "I choose humanity as my family. I choose Earth as my home. And I will spend the rest of my life helping those who showed me kindness when my own blood showed me only hate." The broadcast ended. The common room was silent. Then Amy started clapping. Grant joined in. Porter smiled and applauded. Soon the entire crew was cheering, their voices echoing through the station. Zara stood among them, tears running down her face. She had lost everything she was born with. Her title, her family, her place in the Empire. But she had gained something far more valuable. She had gained people who cared about her not for what she could give them, but simply for who she was. She had gained a home. 1 year after Zara arrived on Earth Orbital Station 7, the galaxy began to change. Her broadcast had spread everywhere. Trillions of beings across hundreds of worlds heard the Emperor's discarded daughter choose humanity over her own blood. They watched the humans defend her against assassins and stand firm against warships. They saw something they had never seen before. They saw an empire that could be resisted. The messages began arriving within days. Secret communications from species who had suffered under Valorian rule. Requests for meetings. Offers of friendship. The Thalan Collective wishes to discuss trade agreements. Commander Porter reported at a council meeting. The Vrix Confederation wants to establish diplomatic relations. Even the Hollow Ones, who have not spoken to outsiders in 200 years, are asking about Earth. Admiral Megan Torres, commander of Earth's defensive fleet, leaned forward. "Why now? What changed?" "Zara changed," Porter said simply. "She showed them that the Empire can be defied. And humanity showed them that there are species who will protect the vulnerable, even at great cost." Zara attended every negotiation. She understood each species' culture, their fears, their hidden needs. She knew which ones were sincere and which were testing Earth's resolve. Her guidance helped humanity avoid mistakes that would have taken years to fix. The Thalan Collective joined Earth Alliance first. They were a peaceful species, known for their medical technology and their hatred of violence. The Empire had conquered their homeworld centuries ago and used them as forced laborers. "We have dreamed of freedom," the Thalan ambassador said, his large eyes wet with emotion. "But we thought it was impossible. Then we saw your broadcast, Princess. We saw that even the Emperor's own child could escape him. You gave us hope." Zara took his hand gently. "I am not a princess anymore. I am just Zara, and I promise you, we will find a way to free your people. The Vrix Confederation came next, followed by 6 other species. Within months, Earth had built an alliance that rivaled the Empire's power. Not in military strength, perhaps, but in unity and determination. Emperor Kelthos watched these developments with growing rage. His empire, which had seemed unshakable, was beginning to crack. Worlds that had been silent for generations were whispering about rebellion. Military officers were questioning orders. Even his own children were looking at him differently. Then came the message, Zara. Never expected. It arrived on a private channel, encrypted with codes that only Imperial family members knew. Zara stared at the sender's name for a long time before opening it. Prince Varnkal, her older brother. The third son, respected and powerful, their father's favorite military commander. Sister, the message read. I need to speak with you, privately. What I have to say cannot be trusted to any channel, no matter how secure. But know this, not all of your family stands with our father. Some of us have seen what he truly is. Some of us want change. Zara brought the message to Commander Porter and Admiral Torres. They discussed it for hours. It could be a trap, Torres said. Your brother could be trying to draw you out. It could be, Zara agreed. Varnkal was always the most cunning of us. But he was also the only one who showed me small kindnesses when we were children. Once, when our father beat me for failing a test, Varnkal brought me food and medicine in secret. What do you think he wants? Porter asked. Zara looked at the message again. I think he wants to overthrow our father. I think there is a rebellion growing inside the Empire, and he wants our help. The response came through the same encrypted channel. Varnkal proposed a meeting on neutral ground, a small station at the edge of known space. Zara agreed to go, despite the risks. The meeting was tense. Varnkal had aged since she last saw him. His face was harder, his eyes tired. But when he saw her, something softened in his expression. You look well, little sister, he said. Freedom suits you. And you look exhausted, she replied. What is happening in the Empire? Varnkal explained everything. The rebellion had been building for decades, hidden in the shadows of the imperial court. Thousands of officers, politicians, and ordinary citizens were ready to act. They only needed a spark. Father's treatment of you was that spark, Varnkal said. When he threw you away, people were angry. When you defied him and survived, people were inspired. And when you chose humanity over the Empire, people realized that another way was possible. What do you want from me? Zara asked. Your support. Your allies. When we move against Father, we will need Earth's fleet to hold the border and prevent his loyal forces from crushing us. Zara was quiet for a long moment. This decision would affect billions of lives. If the rebellion succeeded, the Empire would transform. If it failed, countless people would die, including Varnkal and everyone who stood with him. She thought about her father, about his cruelty, about the worlds he had conquered and the people he had enslaved. She thought about the humans who had shown her that power did not have to mean brutality, that strength could be gentle, that empires could be built on kindness instead of fear. I will help you, she said finally, but I have conditions. When Father falls, there will be no revenge killings, no purges. The transition must be peaceful. Varnkal nodded slowly. The humans have taught you well. We will try. Zara returned to Earth with the news. The Alliance began preparing for war. Ships were built. Soldiers were trained. Strategies were planned. Then came the announcement that Zara had dreaded. A massive fleet has been detected at the edge of the solar system, Admiral Torres reported, her face grim. 300 warships. They are heading directly for Earth. Zara looked at the tactical display, her heart's heavy. My father leads them himself, she said quietly. He is coming to destroy everything I love. Commander Porter put his hand on her shoulder. Then we will stop him, together. Zara nodded. She had run from her father her entire life. She had hidden from him. She had feared him, but she was not the same frightened princess who had arrived on this station 1 year ago. Now she had something worth fighting for, and she would not let him take it from her. The battle for Earth began at dawn. Emperor Kelthos had brought the largest fleet in Valorian history. 300 warships filled the sky, their weapons pointed at the blue planet below. He stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the tiny human fleet gather to oppose him. "They are insects," he said to his commanders. "We will crush them and retrieve my traitor daughter. Then we will burn this world until nothing remains." But Zara had prepared for this moment. Her voice echoed across every Valorian ship, broadcast on frequencies that could not be blocked. She spoke in the old language, the formal tongue of the Empire, so that every soldier would understand. "Soldiers of Valoria," she said, "you follow an emperor who has conquered worlds through cruelty, who has murdered his own people for questioning his orders, who threw away his own daughter like garbage because she was not useful to him." On the flagship, Kelthos screamed for someone to cut the transmission. But Zara's human allies had hacked deep into the communication systems. Her voice could not be silenced. "I am not asking you to betray your people," she continued. "I am asking you to save them. The Emperor has led us down a path of endless war and suffering. But there is another way. A way of peace. A way of treating others with dignity instead of domination." She paused, her voice softening. "Any soldier who stands down will be given sanctuary. Any ship that withdraws from this battle will be allowed to leave safely. You have my word, and the word of humanity. We do not want war. We want freedom for ourselves and for you." The Emperor's fleet hesitated. For one long, terrible moment, nothing moved. Then a ship broke formation. Then another. Then a dozen more. "What is happening?" Kelthos demanded, his face twisted with fury. "They are defecting, my lord," his commander said quietly. "They are choosing her." 50 ships withdrew from the battle. Then 70. Then over 100. Their crews refused to fight for an emperor who treated his own blood like trash. If he could discard his daughters so easily, what would he do to them when they were no longer useful? Kelthos watched his fleet crumble with cold rage. "Fine," he snarled. "We still have enough ships to destroy them. Attack." The battle was brutal. Earth's allied fleet was still outnumbered, but they fought with desperate courage. Admiral Torres commanded from the front lines, her ship taking damage as she refused to retreat. Human pilots flew their small fighters into gaps between enemy vessels, disrupting formations and protecting larger ships. Zara watched from the station, coordinating communications and identifying weaknesses in Imperial tactics. She guided allied ships to vulnerable points in the enemy formation. Her knowledge of Valorian military strategy saved countless lives. Then came the message from Prince Varnkel. "The rebellion has begun," his transmission announced. "Imperial worlds are falling. Father's reinforcements are cut off. He is alone." On the battlefield, the tide turned. The Emperor's remaining loyal ships found themselves surrounded, outmaneuvered, and abandoned. One by one, they surrendered or retreated. Only the flagship remained. "He will never give up," Zara said quietly. "He would rather die than admit defeat." Commander Porter stood beside her. "Then we end this, together." The strike team was small. Zara, Porter, Lieutenant Grant, and 20 of the best soldiers from the Alliance. They boarded a fast transport and flew directly toward the flagship. Imperial guns tried to stop them, but Allied ships provided cover. The transport crashed through the flagship's hangar doors and skidded to a halt. The fighting through the corridors was fierce. Imperial guards gave their lives to protect their emperor. But Zara knew every passage, every hidden door, every shortcut. She led the team through the maze of the massive ship until they reached the throne room. Emperor Kelthos waited for them. He stood before his throne, dressed in full battle armor, a weapon in each hand. His eyes burned with hatred as he watched his daughter approach. "You dare to face me," he said. "After everything you have done." "After everything you have done," Zara corrected. "I did not start this war, father." "You did. You threw me away. You sent assassins to kill me. You brought this fleet to destroy a world that showed me kindness. Kindness." Kelthos spat the word. "Kindness is weakness. These humans have made you soft. They have made me strong," Zara said. "Strong enough to stand here and face you. Strong enough to offer you mercy, even though you never showed me any." The Emperor attacked. He was old, but still deadly, his movements powered by rage and years of combat training. Zara met him blade to blade, her body remembering lessons learned in fear and pain. They fought across the throne room, their weapons clashing and sparking. Portum Grant tried to help, but Zara waved them back. This was her battle. This was her moment. Kelthos was strong. But Zara was faster. She had spent her life learning to survive, to adapt, to endure. She had outlasted everything he had thrown at her. She disarmed him with a move he had never seen, a technique she had learned from human martial arts. His weapon flew across the room. He stumbled backward, shock on his face. For the first time in her life, Zara saw fear in her father's eyes. "Kill me, then," he snarled. "Finish it." Zara lowered her weapon. "No." "What?" "I am not going to kill you," she said quietly. "That is what you would do. That is the old way. The way of cruelty and revenge." She looked at him with something that was not quite pity, but was not hatred either. "You will stand trial. You will face justice. And you will see the empire you built transform into something better." Kelthos was taken into custody. The war was over. 5 years later, Zara stood on the observation deck of Earth Orbital Station 7. The station had been rebuilt and expanded. It was now the heart of the Galactic Commonwealth, a union of hundreds of worlds that had once been enemies. Commander Porter, now retired, walked up beside her. His hair was fully gray now, but his eyes were still kind. "They are waiting for you," he said. "The council meeting starts in an hour. I know." Zara smiled. She served as ambassador to the Commonwealth now, helping to guide the new government she had helped create. It was not perfect. Nothing ever was. But it was better. It was built on cooperation instead of conquest. Dr. Amy Lawson appeared in the doorway. "Zara, there is a delegation from the outer territories. They brought their children to meet you. They say you are a hero to their people." Zara laughed softly. "I am no hero. I just got lucky. I was thrown away by someone cruel and caught by people who were kind." "That is exactly what a hero would say," Porter said with a smile. Zara looked out at the stars. She thought about the frightened princess who had arrived on this station 6 years ago, expecting mockery and finding warmth. She thought about her father, now imprisoned, his empire transformed into something he would have despised. She thought about the humans, who had taught her that strength could be gentle, that power could be shared, that the greatest weapon in the universe was not a fleet of warships, but simple, unexpected kindness. Her father had sent her to Earth as a joke, as an insult, as garbage to be forgotten. Instead, she had found a family. And together, they had changed the galaxy.